Hey everybody, what's going on? This is David with Housing Alerts. Super excited for you to join me today. We're going to be going over the top 25 markets in the United States, and you're going to see that all through HousingAlerts.com. Stick with me and you'll see it next. Hey everybody, this is David with Housing Alerts. Hope you're doing well today. We're going to be going over the top 25 real estate markets inside the United States, and we're going to be showing you some really interesting things that have been going on inside of the top 25, some new movers into the top 25, and some folks who have decided to exit the top 25, which is kind of a changing of a guard, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But if you're a pro member, once you log into your Housing Alerts account, you can scroll on down to your Hot Market Finder and click that Hot Market Finder tile. When you do that, you're going to come over to this page, and it's going to automatically rank all of the markets from 1 to, I believe it's 404 markets throughout the United States. It's going to rank them by master score. Now, the master score is taking into a number of different data sets into account in order to give it that master score. So if there's ever kind of like one broad, easy button, if you will, for finding the hottest markets in the United States, the master score is the way that you're going to want to do that. Now, in our Hot Market Finder tool, we're going to see the master score has Boise City, Idaho as the number 1. And what's really interesting about that is that out of the top 25 markets in the United States, Idaho occupies 5 of the top 25. So 20% of all the markets in the top, in the 404 markets, the top 25, Idaho occupies 5 of those top 25s. Now, if we then kind of drill down and look at the rest of Idaho, I keep saying Boise, but if we look at the rest of Idaho, Idaho only has 7 real estate markets throughout the state. And 5 of the 7 markets inside of Idaho are in the top 25. And if you look at some of the, or if you look at the other 2 markets, the remaining 2 markets for Logan, Utah, Idaho, and Lewiston, Idaho, Washington, those 2 markets as well, they're in the top 87th percentile and the top 70th percentile. And that's exactly what the master score is telling us. If we take a look at Boise City, Idaho, it's showing a 99. That means it's in the top 99% of all real estate markets inside the United States. So once we take a look at Boise City, Idaho, and I have it open here, we can click on seeing what's going on inside of the market. So the first thing we look at is our gauges here, and a year ago, Boise City, Idaho was at in the 84th percentile. Last quarter, 99%, and then this current quarter, 99% as well. So our tap slider ball score is showing us strong. So we know that it's not only been in a good direction, but it's also remaining and heading into and continuing to be in a good direction. As we slide down all the way to our wealth phase chart, you'll notice here in the green, that's the wealth phase. And Boise City has been inside of the wealth phase for a little while now, I should say a long while. Back in 2012 is when it had entered. So about 6 years, it's kind of fluctuated between, about 5% to 15% inflation adjusted annual appreciation. So it's humming right along, and nice that it's entered the top 25. If we were to take a look at the next market, which is Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, same thing. But we see a year ago 99th percentile, previous quarter 99th percentile. Right now it's in the 99th percentile. So Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is a super strong market, definitely worthy of taking another look and seeing what the heck is going on there, because it's showing us some strong momentum and giving us an indication that it's going to stay in this wealth phase for at least a little while now. So you can notice here again inside of the green, that's our wealth phase. Above the 0% is our annual inflation adjusted appreciation, and it looks like it's been anywhere between 5% to just over 10% consistent appreciation for the past 6 years. So definitely worth taking a look at the Idaho markets. Definitely worth taking a look at Coeur d'Alene and also the Boise City, Idaho markets. So those are 2 great markets you definitely want to be looking at, and as well as the other 3 in the top 25. In addition to that, the other 2, because you always want to kind of take a look at what the surrounding markets are doing. When we go back to our top 25, and let me change this back over to all. When we go over to our top 25 here, we'll notice that again in the top 25, that we see that there's 3 states that have kind of taken over the top 25, and that's Idaho, Utah, and Washington. What's interesting about that is that there's been sort of a changing of the guard, if you will. It used to be Florida, Oregon, and Colorado. We still have, I think, 2 Florida markets, Homosassa Springs, and then also Sebring, Florida. We have those still in the top 25, and then we also notice Salem, Oregon, and also Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Pueblo, Colorado. So there's still a couple of stragglers from Florida, Oregon, and Colorado that are still sticking around. But the changing of the guard, the big news is Washington, Idaho, and Utah kind of taking over the top 25. So another interesting thing to note, if you notice here, Georgia has entered into the top 25 with a rather interesting area, and that's Athens, Clark County, Georgia. Let's take a look at what's going on in Athens, Clark County, Georgia. And we see a year ago it was at 83%, previous quarter 95%, and now it's at 97%. Our tap slider ball also looks like it's in the strong. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. But as we scroll down here, we take a look at the wealth phase. So notice that, again, back in like the 2013-ish area, that this real estate market kind of went up to just over 2% annual inflation-adjusted appreciation, and it looks like it's kind of going in a really great direction here. So anywhere between 2 to 9% appreciation for that particular market. Looks like a great market. You definitely want to take another look as to what's going on inside this marketplace, or this real estate market, I should say. Here we see right across the top for the prior quarter, it's green all the way, and the current quarter is green all the way. So we're getting some really good indications from Athens, Clark County, Georgia. Now, the last market that I want to take a look at here, which is rather interesting, that's moved into the top 25, is Wisconsin. So we see this, this Racine, Wisconsin, not, and that's, we're going to go over the next 25 next week. So we see another Wisconsin newcomer, but Racine, Wisconsin. Now let's take a quick look at Racine. If we look at Racine, a year ago, it was in the 50th percentile. The previous quarter went all the way up to 91%, and now it's in 94. Slider ball is strong as ever, and we notice here again, going down to the wealth phase chart, we see that it's just humming along, and it looks like it dipped down just below 0% inside of its wealth phase, but now it's going off in the right direction here, anywhere between 6 to 8, maybe even 9% inflation adjusted annual appreciation. So really interesting what's going on here in Racine, Wisconsin as well. It deserves another look. So that's the top 25, and you get this all inside of your Housing Alerts Pro program. If you don't have Housing Alerts Pro, if you're not currently a member and you are involved in real estate investing, if you're not a member and you don't have access to this information, you're really kind of walking into the room with a blindfold on. You're not really getting any of the information that you need in order to make an investment decision before you go into a market. It's almost as if you were like reading the newspaper for a particular area, a particular real estate market, 2 years before it even happened. You're able to kind of take a look and peek inside what's going on inside of that market with a good amount of information. You're well equipped and well prepared to kind of walk in and just kind of plop down your hard-earned cash and when you make an investment decision. So you definitely want to go ahead and grab your access, or grab your account and get access to the Housing Alerts Pro program. And if you're a state member, thank you for being a part of Housing Alerts, and certainly if you're only making investment decisions inside of a particular state, but you're really missing out. You're missing the boat, because there are probably dozens of markets across the country that you want to be looking at and making buying decisions across the country. So you definitely want to get yourself a Housing Alerts Pro account so you can see what's going on in some of the other markets. So there's a button below if you want to hop in and get access to your Pro account today. So thank you for watching the top 25. Next week, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the next 25 markets. So 26 through 50, we're going to talk about those markets and tell you what we're seeing in those markets as well. So thank you for joining me. Happy New Year, everybody, and we'll be talking again soon. Thanks so much.